Everyone, welcome back to my channel, The Spiritual Earth Angel 2323. I am Gracie. So I'm going to continue part 2 of this series of knowing your origin and how we become who we are to this day, and the different areas that God has his earth angels, spirit being, light workers, star seeds, to come into doing a greater work for him. And I just like to thank all my subscribers, everybody listen to me, reviewing the reviews, the comments, the feedback. I thank everyone for that. The encouragement and everything else, because as you're going on your spiritual awakening, your spiritual journey, and discovering who you really are and what part that you play on this earth, to bring the love, to bring the joy, the happiness, to bring the healing, to bring judgment, to bring justice, to do teaching. And these gifts has really been inside of me for a long time. I'm just now getting into the full effect, the full realm of it, by walking on my spiritual journey. And God is really showing me and teaching me and giving me the knowledge so I can speak it to other people, so they can have an understanding of how we all was created and how we all got separated to different parts of the world, to fit this one giant puzzle, as, spiritual beings walking this earth. And so I want to get into with, I'm going back to, like I said, the part 2 of it. And the one I say is Native American. Now, you know that the Native American group, the Indian group, has been on this earth also for centuries. Where they have, the reserve land, that you can't build on, or you can't do anything on, and where people and big businesses and stuff like that try to come and take this land that was given to these Indian people from different culture, the Native America, what we call them. And what it is that we have different Native American tribes that we all have origin from, stem from. We all have some type of Native America in our bloodline. And like I said, if you do your ancestry reports or do a DNA, and you will see, the different parts of your bloodline and why you may eat a certain food, or you like a certain food, or you do certain things, so you get into different jobs, different careers, or you like doing, like I said, people do tarot reading, astrology reading, different things like that. You understand why you are doing this, why you are a counselor, why you are a preacher, why you are a nun, you're a priest, why you are a lawyer, a judge. All of this comes from your bloodline, back in your ancestors and what they were doing back in their past life. And now why you doing it in this present time. And a lot of American group, I just want to touch base on a lot. I'm just going to say some of the names, because it was very interesting when God gave me the revelation of it, to speak on. And that all these people saying about voodoo, root workers and witchcraft and spells and all this stuff. Don't you know that all this stuff started with the Native American? Because that was part of their culture, to do warfare. Or if they needed rain to come down, they would do like a war dance to have rain come down, so they can, so the rain can help their crops growing. They grew up off the land. All this organic food, it was grow up off the land. They planted their own vegetables and fruits, and went out and killed the wild animals and stuff like that for meat. They grew up on the land. They took their resources and all that knowledge that God has given these people also how to flourish, how to survive. So when you are earth angels, you meet people like this, and you begin to get into that tribe, what they call tribal families, finding your tribal families. You get into that where you begin to get into your little tribal family, your tribe, and you have their own set of tribe and set own family members that will follow you, encourage you, teach you, like what you're teaching or what you're saying. Those people will begin to follow you because they are part of your tribe, your soul tribe. And so I want to name a few of the names of the native Indian American tribes. You got one is Yakima, which is like in the eastern western West Washington state. So that's like up there by near like Oregon, in that area. That's where you have some tribes there. You might have some reservation also there in that part of those, in the United States too. And sometimes they can migrate to other continents also. You have the Cherokee, which is, that's well known in the U.S., southeastern part of the U.S. Because I have Cherokee in my family. And, you can tell the different people that has Indian in their family because of their skin tone. Their skin tone is going to be like a reddish undertone. And that's mostly, from the Cherokee. You might have some of the features. You might have yourself have some of the traits of it, down your bloodline. The characteristics of things of a Cherokee Indian, Native America. Then you have the Azteca. The Azteca, that's more like in the Mexico region. You have the Puerto Rican, you have the Brazil, anything that has like a Spanish language or population. And you have those Indian also. And there were Indian people also. That's why you have all the different race and the different culture, all over the world. Because of these people also that was earth angels, really earth angels from heaven. And then God just put them in different places, on earth to bring the healing, the guidance, the love, and the compassion, to the souls. Shusan is another Native American. They're more like in the eastern Wyoming, Idaho, Utah. And by me doing a lot of traveling, me and my husband, we do a lot of traveling. So we get to visit all those states. I have visited pretty much 46 states so far on our job traveling. And you get to see different cultures. You see how people live in different states. Different animals. You might see one animal of yours and it could be a different animal in another state. You'd be like, wow, I've never seen that animal before. What type of animal is that? So that's what I'm talking about. They were spread it all over. Then you have the Iroquois, which is, these people was like loyal to the British. They fought in the American Revolution. So you had those people when the settlers and stuff come back, about Christopher Columbus and all that, those people back in your history books and different things. Okay, yes. So that's where these people were at. And that's who they were talking about, these people that fought along the American Revolution with the British. Then you have the Alpaca, or the APAC, what you might call it. They're in the southwest part of the U.S. And then you have the Odawa, and they're mostly in the northwestern part, near Canada territories. There was more of traders. And when I say traders, that means they like to trade. They do a lot of trading. They do a lot of selling, making stuff. You know, like when you do a lot of, when you have like a different hobby and trade where you have craft and stuff, you know, you have some people have a lot of good craft and wood, like wood carving. Like I was somewhere and this person was carving out a tree trunk. I mean, actually a tree trunk. They were sitting there carving it out with the axe, you know, with the saw, the chisels. They were just carving it out into, made into like an animal. And I was like, wow, that's talent. You know, that God give these people talents that they can actually do that. So you have wood carvers, you have glass makers, you have people that can actually blow into a glass and make it into something. Clayers, you know, clay potters, or you know, to make pots, make clay out of different things. You know, you have, you know, most of the Indians, they have like the dream catchers. That's where they come from, the Native American. You know, they believe in the dream catchers, you know, where it catches so the like the nightmares and negativity that might come towards you, the dream catcher would stop it. It would stop it from entering in. It would capture it, and it would keep it enclosed. So some of you might need to get that too for protection. You know, while you sleep at night, a dream catcher. You can have it in your car. You can have it in anywhere in your house. You know, while you're sleeping, you can have it. It's for, you know, it's really for, like I said, dream catchers for protection. And then, you know, the Native Americans made that handcraft, or you can make it yourself if you like. You know, and you wonder too, about the rituals. You know, where you think all the rituals started from. It started from the Native American Indians. Like I said, of their culture, how they worship the different gods, or, you know, their everyday of protection, you know, their everyday of healing. You know, they lived off the land for healing. You know, they used whatever they had resource to make a better life for themselves, to be comfortable. You know, there wasn't no banks back there, you know, during the time. It wasn't, you know, where houses, they live in tents and teepees. You know, log houses they lived in. They didn't live in like generous, you know, multi-million houses that we live in now to this day, you know, and where we struggling to pay the bills on it because it's so high. You know, these people was content with what God has blessed them with. And the knowledge and the resources, they used that. The knowledge that God gave them, they used it. So to be prosperous, to be abundance. You know, having a happy life. You know, those people back then was happy. They was content. There wasn't enticing and temptation like the world is today. And you know, then it goes back to, like I said, medicine man or woman. You know, that's where that healing comes in. The healing comes in. It's all a part of the big puzzle of where you're origin from. It starts from heaven. It starts from heaven and it comes down to us. God created us. You know, some people be saying, you know, they don't believe in God and different things like that. But how you think you got here? How did you think you got here? Did you get here from an alien birthed you? And some people might have aliens in their bloodline too. Who knows? This day and time. But that's something to think about. How did you get here? If you don't believe in God, how did you? He created this earth. He created this world. How you think this world was created? It was created by Him. So I'm not gonna get on the topic about that because I don't like talking about politics and religion. I'm not here to talk about that. I leave that for other people. You know, their calling, their mission to talk about politics and religion. Then, you know, like I said, then they give you wisdom. You know, along with that, He gives you wisdom also. How to survive, how to make money, you know, how to invest, when to invest, wisdom and knowledge of the mind, how to talk and speak, you know, his words to people, you know. That's where the wisdom comes in. The wisdom, like somebody, I know one preacher was talking about the keys of wisdom, you know, and he was talking about finances. I think his name was Mike Murder. I think that was his name was. He talked about, you know, finances, the keys of wisdom with finance, you know, how to, you know, make your money work for you. You know, when you start giving into the kingdom and different things like that, the money begin to work for you. You know, he talked about finances, how to get your finance in order, you know, how to invest, you know, in your money. You know, when it is a time to give and a time to receive. You know, he talks about that. And then it goes back to, like I said, with finances. You know, when you're dealing with your finances, you know, you got to take a look at how you look at your finance, how you feel about your finance, how you feel about money. You know, you need to not get into a relationship with it, but you need to do some soul searching on to finances and money. You know, what part of it does it play in your life? Finances and money. And then that's when you begin to heal that area. So if you like going out spending money all the time and trying to be a show off, then that's where you need to look at that you need to heal from that. So you can invest and help other people. You know, you got people that will spend money on prostitutes. You got people that spend money on, you know, pocketbook, shoes, clothes, whatever, or luxury cars. You know, when you only can drive one car, but you got 3-4 luxury cars in there. You know, you go buy the biggest house you can buy, and then you struggling how to pay it. How to pay it. You know, your business could be going, you know, going low, or, you know, revenue is not coming in like it used to in your business, in your career. And you haven't saved up for anything. That's why a lot of people will go bankrupt. They will sell their house, you know, sell cars and everything else, so that way they can have a stable, better life. When you should have had wisdom with your money and say, okay, if I got this amount of money, then let me find something that is going to be comfortable for me, and not trying to keep up with the Joneses, as they say. You know, you find things that is comfortable, that's going to make you happy, that will bring peace and joy and love in your life, and not stress, heartaches, and pain, and struggling and obstacles, and negativity, because you were in your greed. Because God bless you with abundance. And it's also good to help out your community too. If you know there are certain countries that you live in and you know you got money, why don't you go back and help your people? Or if God bless you into a high, powerful position in your country, why can't you take the resource in that money and build up your country or your continent? And not take it and be wastefully and waste it on things that is temporary, that you don't even see where the money went. That's what you need to start doing, because everything is not going to be here forever and last forever. Your business could be multimillionaire today and drop to bankruptcy the next day. The stocks can go up and be high and then go down the next day and drop. You know, economy now is up and down. It's like a roller coaster. It's up and down. It's up one day, good, bad the next. So that's when you have to, when you do get blessed with abundance of money, learn to use it wisely and resource it wisely. So that way, when situation do come, you're not being bothered or moved by it, because you have emergency funds that you can use. That's what emergency funds are. In case of emergency, use it. And health, also with the health thing, different parts of the area you need to heal. So when they started, the earth angels are being and stuff like that, as they was traveling to different continents, countries, different places, cities and states and everything else. They develop, sometimes you can develop a sickness in your body because you carrying the burden of your gifts or talents to give to the world. So you carrying this. So sometimes you have to take the time out to rejuvenate and restore your health by meditating, yoga, or listen to music, or spending time in nature, or go near water. If you like being near water, go near water. Have that peace of mind, away from what your calling is, or what your gift or talents is being going towards, to help out a greater cause. So take good care of your health, and that's what they were doing too in your past life and in your present. Goes back to the Native American, the resources, the medicine woman, the medicine men. They took their resource and wisdom that God gave them to how to heal their self inside. So there was natural born healers, because they could heal their self inside and they can heal outside too. So that's where the healing come from. It's inside of people. Your words could heal people. Music, poetry, writing, speaking, teaching, all of that brings in healing in some shape or form. Even with like I said, with trees, that was a card too, with trees, and that dealing with too also, taking your resources. Some cultures does look at like the bark of the trees, and saying that could be like a healing to them. Like more like the Celtic and the Eastern European cultures, they consider the trees as sacred. So they could be, worship the trees and thank God for them having trees or whatever. Like oak trees for prophetic information. Ancient healers use tree ingredients such as a willow bark for medicine. So you see what I'm saying? And that's where the root workers and stuff, you see how they go through all these different herbs, the dark and the light ones. They go through different herbs, different oils, how to bring healing, prosperity, and different things into people's lives. The willow bark, that willow bark, I have seen it in different medications and stuff like that, that they will use, like different nuts and fruits and stuff like that, using the resources on earth to heal inside and out. And then also to use against people also. So I can't sit there and not say that either, because you got some evil people out there who do crazy stuff. They take the knowledge that God gave them to use it for evil instead of using it for good, to edify, to heal cancer, to heal AIDS or HIV. You see what I'm saying? To bring that resource, that mind that God gave them, the knowledge to heal different diseases that's in this world. They used it they're heavy on solar and crystals, crystal powers, crystal healing, all of that is part of it, during your lifetime, past and present lifetime. The crystals in the you have like the different, like the pearls and oysters in the ocean. How it began to grow from a one little grain of sand. mustard seeds that they say in the Bible, different things, different crystals that you see, all that came from the earth, resources from the earth. The earth did this. And that's why the earth needs healing. It needs love, compassion. Why you think that the ecosystem and everything is changing? The air quality is changing. You got to pay attention. The earth is sick. Earth is really sick because of all the toxic, the negativity, the trauma, the negative emotions. The earth, she is like, and I call this a her because it is a she. She is soaking up all of this for years and decades and generations. It's getting sick. That's why the earth angels are here. The divine beings are here. So that way they can heal earth. Heal the people within. I'm going into a deeper knowledge. This might not be for everybody, my teachings that I'm going to be doing. But I'm giving it as God give it to me. To say I'm going to speak it. And He gives me an understanding revelation. I'm going to speak it. Because like I said, doing your spiritual awakening journey, it's not all about, okay, yeah, I'm going on my spiritual journey, awakening, healing. No, it's more to it. It's a deeper meaning, a deeper revelation of it that needs to get out. So it'd be environmental beneficial to our world at this time. Confirmation is so true. The farm, also you got our farmers. How you think we get all these fruits and vegetables if it wasn't for these farmers that God has placed also? These earth angels became farmers that God has placed on this earth. So that way it gave them the knowledge how to take a seed and make corn or tomatoes, carrots, vegetables, watermelon, different fruits, apple trees, pear trees, all of this stuff. Farmers cultivating the land, cultivating their resources. How you think this world is surviving to this day? Because of all these people that God has brought to this earth, these spiritual divine beings, to know how to do all this stuff from past to present life. Goes back to the Celtic, the Celtic culture. They also believe in, the healing part, of the land, feeling bonded to the culture. Sometimes you have to go back and think about like deja vu, different things that might fascinate you. The Stone Age, like King Arthur, Camelot, back in those days, that old religion. You're right, the Celtic is the old religion, for healing. The herbs, gaining wisdom. See, they use oak trees. They use oak trees for knowledge and healing. Connecting to the element, the realm. They're into the fairies, the elves. They're into that. And they respect the tree, especially the oak and the willow. So remember I told you to go back to that card about the willow oak. That all goes back to that. Goes back to where, when your earth angels, when you was traveling to all these different places, these different continents, different states, you picked up on a lot of culture. And you use it for yourself. How to heal, how to show compassion, love, how to take the resources to sustain, to be happy. Protection, all of that. It all's a big picture, plays a part in it. Some of it might trigger you in dreams and stuff. And sometimes you might have to go back there to your bloodline. Trace your bloodline back and see why you like going to those places, or why you so drawn to the culture. Do research on your bloodline. Because that's where a lot of people don't know their bloodline to this day. They don't know where they originated from or where they came from. And it shows some enlightenment on you. You know, forgiveness. Forgiveness always got to be a part in it. You know, you remember I was saying how this earth angel was so resentment because God had, you know, told them to come down here, you know, and to live this earth. And when they came here, they saw how it was all messed up, full of sin, full of turmoil, you know, just negativity going everywhere, comic, everything else. I mean, just so much. So they had to have some, you know, compassion, forgiveness, you know, towards God. Because they probably was bitter and angry. Like, why you put me down here when I was enjoying myself up there with peace and happiness? And now I got to deal with these people down here with their craziness. You know, so that's when you need to, and so that's when they had to be restored. You know, release old stored anger. You know, that's in your conscious mind, in your thought patterns, the way you think, the way you behave. That will bring healing also to you in all areas of your life. You know, you understand that sometimes high blood pressure and addiction, not sleeping, moodiness, all of that comes from not having forgiveness in your heart. And you wonder why you're not sleeping at night. You wonder why you're moody. You wonder why your blood pressure is high, your cholesterol high. You having headaches. It's because you still harboring some unforgiveness that you need to release. Release the old. So that way your health will get better. You know, just because of action from other people, what other people don't say it to you or spoke over your life, bad or negative, forgive them because they didn't know what they were saying. Sometimes people say stuff out of emotion, impulses, or how they're feeling. But then they really don't mean it. And they'll come back and later on and say they didn't mean it. Because they have to have some compassion. Conviction comes to them. Judgment. Obstacles, different things come in your life experience. So you can have self-empowerment, self-enlightenment. When you forgive, you don't allow that hurt feelings continue to harbor into your heart, your mind, and your soul, and keep you stagnant where you can't move on. You can't move them to the past because of these feelings. So it's time to let go of that. Release it. Let go. Free yourself from negative and harmful emotions. Trust and faith. And that's the same thing. You trust. You know, you trust the Most High Being, your God. You trust. And you'll walk with Him. And have the faith that He's going to bring you everything that you desire to have in your life. He's going to bring it to you. The fulfillment, the wish fulfillment, the altar fulfillment, the peace of joy that you once had and lost it, and now you're gaining it back again. You know, overcoming the betrayals, you know, that people has in your past life and your current life. True respect for yourself, self-love. You know, that's all stemming to having a faith you have in God, in the universe or earth or whatever, you know, you people worship. You know, I worship God, the true Most High. You know, and then, like I said, have the faith and trust in your prayers is being heard. He has heard your prayers. He heard what all these people has done to you in your past and during your lifetime journey. He's heard it. And so that's why I'm saying He's awakening up people that needs to be woken. The chosen ones needs to be woken. They need to be awakened to see, so they can start doing self-healing, self-reflection. So that way they can spread the love, the joy, what God intended for us to do anyway. Spread love, joy, compassion. His knowledge, his words. That's what he wants us to do as light workers. Star seeds. Be bold. Stand out from the rest. Be rare, unique. Don't care what people say about you. It won't offend you because you're doing a work. You walking your life purpose. You walking in your spiritual work, wellness and journey. So when you walking, what these people say does not bother you. You don't have to respond to every negative comment because that's what they want. They want to get you off and get you distracted so you can't continue your work, your life path, your destiny. It's all a distraction. And when you learn how to tune out the distraction and don't allow them to see your weak points, because when people see your weak points, then they're going to start coming after you with it because they know they get a reaction from you. But when you stop showing them your weak points and you continue to move on, even though there's negative comments or whatever, or talking about you, who cares? They probably talk about their own damn mother. Excuse my language. They probably talk about their mother too. Their own family members. So who cares? You know, get a tough skin to the point where you walking and people saying stuff or looking at you differently or sideways or twisted. Look back at them sideways and twist it. And keep walking. Because you got some people put on the earth to torment you. Now, there is some people that he has put on earth. Angels, spiritual being angels, earth angels too, to torment you. That's where that karmic relationship, the twin flame and soulmate, all of that comes into it. All of that comes into a big picture, a big part of it. You just got to know which role you play. And where is your calling, your gifts, and where you need to be on your spiritual walk, your spiritual journey, your spiritual path. You know, you need to listen to those feelings that you might be having also. You know, if somebody offending you, then that might be a heal. That might be an area in your part in your life that you need to heal from. That might be your soul, your mind, your consciousness is telling you, hey, wake up. There's something else in here that needs to be healed completely. That's why you're still going through all this. That's why you're still experiencing all of this. And once you recognize it and start healing it, then it goes away. Then it doesn't bother you anymore. It's warning you. Your inner guidance is warning you. Warning you about a lot of things. You trust your gut instinct when it comes to that. You rely on it heavily. And then once that happens, like I said, it goes back to lesson learned. You know, your lessons and your blessings. Like I told you, everything is a teaching, a learning process, a 360. It goes around in a circle. It starts from the beginning, ends at the end. It's the same thing. A big 360 is what we going around. And we all got a part to learn in it as we become fully and mastered. And like I said, once you come fully and mastered in this, some people transition on into the heaven realms because they have done everything they could do in their gifts and their calling on their life in earth. So when you see people has come into your life for seasons and then you see how they have passed on, you know, at early age, that means they have come to a crossroad. They have come to an end of their lifespan where they cannot go any further in this lifespan that we're in. So they will have to go back to the heavens and relearn more things again, and then reincarnate into a new soul, a new baby, and rebirth, and then do another life cycle, doing something totally different from what they had done when it was in their past or their present. Then they come in the future and they start doing something totally different. That's why some people say they've been here before. Yeah, you have old souls. What they would say, yes, there's a lot of old souls that have been here before. They just reincarnate into something else. Rebirth, renewal. And when you have all that, there you go. You've been through the wars. You've been through the battles. You know, you're going to go through all of that. Along your journey, along your walk, along your gifts, your turns. You're going to be learning a lot of stuff. Knowledge. It's going to get better. Because you've been through the wars. You've been through the battles in your lifetime. In all areas of your life. That's why you're able to speak on life experiences. You're able to teach. You're able to tell people what you've been through. Because it helped other people too along the way. It proves that you was an overcomer. You was victorious in your past and your present lifetime. You overcome things easily. You don't allow them to overtake you, but you overcome them. You look for ways of solution to problems. You don't sit there and let the problem take you over, but you look for ways and solution to solve the problem. And then once that finally come, knighthood. That means with knighthood, I like this card because it proves that you have the victory, that you have gained. You see this medal on here? You have gained your high priest and high priestess. You have gained that. You have gained that talent. Look at the sword. Look how they fully armor up now. That means now you are ready. You are equipped for anything in this world. You are ready. You are ready to step into your new season. Because you have started the spiritual journey process and the healing. So now you're ready to step into your new season. Because now you are fully equipped. You know, they're saying about the salvation of don't quote me on it, but it's like, you know, the life salvation, you know, where you're fully equipped from head to toe. You are equipped with everything that you need to continue to make your gifts grow. Continue to spread the word, the love, the joy, and the happiness. You got the keys. You got everything in life that God has given you to do. The only thing you need to do is now walk in it. Stay in your power. That's power right there. When you have finally reached it, that is power. You receive your inner knighthood, man or woman. You have the heart and mind of a knight. You know, you might be drawn to, you know, the Celtic, you know, the King Arthur movies, you know, different movies that has the knights, you know, that be fighting and stuff in war back in the day, you know, or back in the day with Queen Elizabeth and all them. Yeah, all of that. I like movies like that too. I like watching historical movies, epic movies, you know, real lifetime story type movies I like watching. And I also I do like to watch some, you know, fantasy movies like, you know, like the Lords of the Rings and stuff like that. I do like watching movies like that too. Because sometimes it, you know, it can be very interesting too. You know, with the fighting techniques and, you know, the different cultures and stuff like that, how they survive and different things like that, you know. So, you know, you got different things like that living among us too. So, you know, and then you might choose a profession you know, as a protector, like I said, like the police officers, the security guards, the military people. You know, all these people have the quality of a knight. So there are earth angels too, and spiritual beings on this earth too. They just went into a different pathway as being as a knight, a protector, a guardian. You know, you have the FBI agents, the president agents and guards and stuff like that. You know, some businesses have like security guards. All these people are part of one big picture. They just went a different path. They went to a different career because that's where their spirit was leading them to. You know, organizations, stuff like that. You know, it said a knight, you are loyal to those who earn your respect. And that's what it is. Now that you done been through all this battle and everything else in your life as a spiritual being, you earn that respect. You earn that respect from everybody because you've been through a lot. You might not tell your whole story in details, but you know, God knows that you've been through a lot. And that's why you have a greater reward coming to you, a bigger blessing beyond what you can imagine. And he's just getting you prepared for when you get your blessing, you use it wisely, your resources wisely. See what you need to help or to